The conference final picture is a lot clearer after last night. We have Brad Williams on to talk about the Ducks season. Plus, we give our reviews for Prime Videos off campus.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Hockey Show.
ما في وقت للعب 9-1 كونتينيو يجي نار من كاستوديو نقلي ولا لازم نشوف.
David Drunk in the Hockey News is to my left. We have Rosie and Ethan as well. My name is Roy Bellamy. This is the Hockey Show. The Maple Leafs are still in the news as they fired their head coach Craig Berube. The Chief had a long, tiring, just a bad season for himself, which, of course, included him getting injured at the gym. His head got cracked open. I still don't know how that happened. Maybe a dumbbell fell on his head or whatever.
I think that's probably
what happened. Yeah, so second worst team in the conference. They were the worst team in the Atlantic Division and fifth worst in the league, I believe. But yet, they fell their way up to the top and now have the number one overall pick via the draft lottery. And because you have a new general manager, of course, the head coach is pretty much sacrificed in that situation. Why don't you describe what's going on in Toronto right now, Dave?
It's a lot in flux right now. I have to wonder, is John Chaika and Matt Sundin going to have to give Austin Matthews the same kind of treatment that Connor McDavid had got the last couple summers in Edmonton when they were trying to convince him to stick around and stick with the team, see what happens. We got something. We're going to get a goalie, we promise. Like, what's Toronto going to do? Like, they've got to. And they've got a good pitch right now. Look, we're rebuilding a little. Not rebuilding. But the front office is being rebuilt.
Not a little bit either.
I don't think they have a great pitch.
Look, they've got talent. They've got Gavin McKenna coming in. They've got.
We think. We don't know for sure. Like, what if Chaika takes somebody else?
Hey, are you serious?
Are you
Well,
serious?
that
Yes, I'm
diminishes
serious.
their pitch,
We don't know.
doesn't it?
Like, there is debate out there that Gavin McKenna might not be assuredly the number one overall pick this year.
Is that debate being put out by people who aren't picking number one?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the
Right.
Athletic. I mean, again, it's up to the Maple Leafs, but I saw the Athletic put out their rankings, and they had Gavin McKenna fourth. So
And who
I
do they
think
have
there
first?
is some dispute that it could not be Gavin McKenna. I think they should take Gavin McKenna. I think any GM that passes on Gavin McKenna will be fired within 3 years. But John Chaika, he's that guy. Like, he might do something zany. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Rosie does put up a good question. Who do they have first? I mean, obviously they're going to have to try to fill a hole, but what hole is that?
No, they've got a lot of questions to answer in Toronto, and I mean, look, it's arguably the most popular franchise in the world, most profitable. They've got a lot of things going for them. It's just the hockey on the ice has been a struggle, and we talked about it last week. Like, it's not like Toronto hasn't had any success. Like, they've had some success, but just similarly to Edmonton, they can't get over the hump. And when you're putting all that kind of resources into it, and you've got that kind of following, and you're in that kind of cauldron, it's tough.
Another firing happened. This one happened yesterday as the Edmonton Oilers fired head coach Chris Knoblauch, and the way they handled it was not good. Frank Saravalli reported that the Oilers this week asked the Golden Knights for permission to interview Bruce Cassidy, who they fired a couple of weeks before the playoffs. They replaced him with John Tortorella, who we'll get to that in a little bit, by the way, after what happened last night. But, Chris Knoblauch was still the head coach at that time. So it seems to me that they kind of did things ass backwards there. I don't know. Maybe it's I would like them to be a little bit more professional there. Do one thing first instead of, the other thing, which was look for a new coach. But, hey, when you've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup championships and then you bow out in the first round, I guess time's up there for Chris Knoblauch.
It just was so horribly handled, Roy. Like, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, if you want to move on, fine, then move on. Don't leave the guy blowing in the wind while you're trying to look for another guy. Like, this is supposedly a team that's going to treat their guys well. Chris Knoblauch was their guy, and the way that they treated him in a very public way, not cool at all. Like, I would imagine that it would put a pause in some people's head when they're thinking about looking into places to work. Like, I mean, look, it's the NHL, so jobs are going to get picked up really quick, but like, that's not a cool way to treat somebody who, at that moment, that was your guy.
Well, the other thing is maybe they fired the wrong guy. Maybe they should have gone a little bit above and maybe Stan
Yeah.
Bowman should have gotten the axe there.
This is what I don't get, Roy, is are they really going to let Stan Bowman make another hire? Are they really going to give him another offseason of the Connor McDavid window? Like, he failed miserably this year. The Tristan Jarry trade was a disaster. Even worse looks like trading Brett Kulak, who just scored the overtime winner to send the Colorado Avalanche to the Western Conference Final for the I mentioned the Colorado Avalanche. Sorry, I'm all over the place back here right now.
That's
But anyway,
But keep that mic
like,
on.
are they really going to let Stan Bowman make another hire here? They can't. I don't think they can do it, and it seems like they're going to. Now, when it comes to the handling of the Knoblauch firing, like, this is kind of what happens in the NHL. I mean, earlier this year, we saw 2 coaches get fired, and their replacements were immediately hired. There weren't interim coaches. John Tortorella immediately replaced Bruce Cassidy, and Pete DeBoer immediately replaced Patrick Waugh on the island. So, like, this is kind of what they do in the NHL right now. It happened to leak. I think the team that handled the situation worse was Vegas, who will not let Edmonton interview Bruce Cassidy, which is like standard operating procedure in the NHL. And it's just, to me, that's another example of Vegas just doing things the wrong way.
Yeah, Vegas
yeah.
doesn't believe in standard operating procedure. We've
No.
established that.
No, and that's why they're on to the 5th Western Conference Final in the 9 years of existence.
That's a good point.
That's some petty divisional stuff, probably. I think not going to let them have permission to interview a coach for the rival. But yeah, that's just not. And going into Edmonton's probably the most important offseason since the last one, because
Yeah,
this was
exactly.
a show me season for Connor McDavid as he starts his extension this upcoming season. I mean, what are we doing here?
I think that I read this is going to be the 6th coach for McDavid and Draisaitl
No.
in what, 9-10 years? 14 and 15 they came in.
But Jay Woodcroft was one of them.
Yeah,
And he probably should be interviewed over in Toronto as well.
yeah. Wasn't he's on who's coaching staff? He's on Anaheim's, right?
Yes.
He's with Q.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
We've spent way too much time on 2 Canadian teams that are not in the playoffs anymore.
Thank you for telling me how to run the show, Ethan. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
As we go into the playoffs, though, speaking of the Golden Knights, they eliminated the Ducks last night to advance to the Western Conference Final for the 5th time in a 9-year history. Did not hang around Anaheim too long to talk to the media, however. John Tortorella decided it was time to go. He didn't talk to the media. He sent one guy to a side room to talk to the media, and Mitch Marner and Brett Howden went into the media room and spoke quickly in the podium because they didn't want to miss the bus. And
They made that very clear.
yeah, and that sort of move right now is just indicative of how Vegas respects the media, which is not a lot of respect. And this gives us a chance to allow David to go on a rant, because David is a part of the Professional Hockey Writers Association, and he did not like this move one bit. Dave, yell.
Me no like.
No.
No, like, all right. Thank you, Rose. No, like, what are we doing? Like, it's standard operating procedure, and this is the playoffs. This isn't just like a regular season game in December or some bullshit like that. This is not only is it the playoffs either. They clinched the 2nd round. They're going to the conference finals, and the head coach who was hired a week before the playoffs starts, one of the most controversial coaches, who just led his team to the conference finals. You're not going to speak to the media. You're going to push your players through the media room because I'm going to leave you if you're not on the bus by 10:57. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, I'm going to calm down for a second.
No, you can keep
But-
yelling.
No, I think our buddy Mark Spector put it pretty well. Ethan, if you have that tweet, can you put it up, please? Spec basically put it out there that, here it is, like clockwork, when Torts moves on, he'll be a media panel taking a media paycheck from a media outlet. He'll have time for the media then, but he just doesn't need him right now is all.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is that like totally hitting the nail on the head? Like, dude, fulfill your obligations. Like, it was last week when we were talking about how we hadn't had a Torts moment yet since he arrived in Edmonton that had been very quiet, or since he arrived in Vegas, it had been very quiet.
Yep.
Here we go. The Torch show is on.
This is a thing where the league and the PHWA kind of is in lockstep when it comes to actual journalism and talking to these players. You need to go into the locker room within 5 minutes of the final horn. That's usually the mandate. That doesn't
That's the rule.
necessarily happen though.
No, but the door opens always and there's players available, like even the Panthers, to their credit, like the locker room might be empty except for the 3 guys that are going to talk, but they're there and they talk. Win, loss, whatever. Like they give you guys at the podium, they give you guys at scrums, and that's what most teams are supposed to do. That's the way. It's the reason that the league and the PHWA have an agreement. Like that's why the PHWA gets the vote. Like it's a mutual beneficial thing that they have going on. So no, this is not cool. I'm sure PWA President Steve Wino is not happy with what he saw. Bill Daly for the NHLPA probably not happy with what he saw. It's just not good all around, and Torts just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's just not a good look, and it makes us media people not happy and complain on our platform like we just did. I mean, that's content right there for us. And, of course, you're not happy because if you're a reporter going into these situations, you're looking to write a story, you're looking to get a subject, and you're denied that, your job is kind of affected by that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, for sure. If you're going into a post-game situation with certain expectations that are universally met across the board, regular season playoffs, and you're preparing to do your job based off of that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, you're not getting any quotes. You're not going to get to ask these guys about this. You can't ask the coach how this feels. None of that. Like, you still get the job done, of course, but no, like it totally throws a wrench into the gears, and it's just unprofessional. It's not cool.
One of the major awards has already been decided. It was a pretty easy one. It was Matthew Schaefer, the New York Islanders. He is Rookie of the Year. He won the Calder Trophy. In fact, it was unanimous.
Yeah. First Calder Trophy for a defenseman in like 100 years, right, Rose?
I was wrong about that, but I called it. I called it.
Yeah, you did call it. So did I.
You got to get Rose the Matthew Schaefer
Roy,
jersey.
but you know, Puck, I don't. So for me,
you want me to be impressed? Is that
yes,
what's going
that's
on?
a milestone for me. Well, I don't care if you're impressed. I am.
Oh,
Impressed.
yes, you do. Yes, you do because you complained about it, Rosie.
I am impressed of myself.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Right, David and Ethan.
I think you did good, Rose.
I was impressed with you, Rose.
Oh, thank you.
Well, congratulations. 198 PHWA members voted him first place. That's the first time that has happened unanimously since Teemu Selanne won the Calder Trophy in 1992-93, and that for that season.
He scored like 1,000 goals that year.
Yeah, he had the rookie record. But it was 50 members back then. Now it's like it's above doubled.
Inflation.
Yeah, inflation. It was an easy decision. I mean, 23 goals, tied a record for most goals by a rookie defenseman. He was also the first defenseman in more than 90 years to lead rookies in all positions in goals. It was well-deserved. And I think that's what Rosie meant by 100 years there. Led the league in all positions, in rookies for most goals in a season.
I just noticed I was like trying to give Rose a little hand motion off camera, and then I saw my hand just like in your camera shot. So I apologize for that.
Yeah, that's okay. But no, I'll do it.
I just
I'm
sent
pointing
Rose
at her right now.
It's gonna make her very happy. Look.
Look, yeah, she's yawning. Look.
Oh my God, I'm in.
All right, well, congratulations.
Oh my God, he's in.
Barkov's playing today.
Wow.
For
He already
Finland,
had an
huh?
assist to Lundell for a goal.
Yeah, look at that.
Wait,
they're playing
already
right
playing?
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
World-
World Championship
World
started today.
Championships.
GQ,
right
can you
now.
put the game here?
Well, we cannot do that right now. But yes.
It's happening in Switzerland.
My sister lives there. I'm going to Switzerland in
She could be watching Barky right now.
She's in Austria right now.
Austria.
That's in
That's
Germany?
Austria.
That's Austria.
that's a country. I don't know.
That's
my-
a country. Austria is.
I'm gonna show
country.
you. I'm gonna tell you history and countries, and you show me hockey.
I'm glad you were listening to that segment. We just officially gave you props there. So congratulations there, Rosie. Good job.
And where do you give me props?
I like 5 minutes ago when you were busy paying attention to Alexander Barkov in the World Championship.
Schaefer props.
At least you're watching
Thank you
hockey.
very
At
much.
least and that's very good.
She's
Yeah.
distracted about hockey. Like that's
That's
Speaking of
yeah,
hockey,
that's good.
the Montreal Canadiens are up 3-2 in their series against the Buffalo Sabres. The
What are you
Vegas
doing?
Golden
Why-
Knights
why-
eliminated
why-
the
what are you
Ducks
doing?
last
forcing you
night.
out of the
The
driver's seat.
Colorado Avalanche eliminated the
Turn his
Minnesota
mic off.
Wild
I
in a
can't turn
great
his mic
series
off.
the other night. Like, we going to talk about that at all?
No,
or-
it's time
No?
for Puck Luck.
Okay.
It's sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. David, go ahead.
All right, so I don't have the odds yet because it's for tomorrow. There's no games tonight. But I've got the 3 plays for you, and I think it's going to be a good one. First, we're going to take the Montreal money line. They've been the better team in the series, I think. Buffalo looks defeated. It looks like their youth is showing, Roy. Like, they're just taking silly penalties, and Montreal just looks like more of a veteran team. which is interesting because Buffalo's got the more veteran coach. But I'm taking the Montreal money line. I'm also going to take Habs goaltender Jakob Dobish over saves. It's probably going to be in the 25 to 27 range, but I imagine Buffalo's going to continue to put a lot of rubber on him. He's been really good in this series on the whole, obviously in their wins. So I'm going to take Dobish over saves. And then finally, I'm going to take Rasmus Dahlin over 2.5 shots on goal. He's been ripping puck this entire series. I think he's done over this in all but one game. So I'm going to take those three. And I'm going to guess it's going to be like in the plus 400 to 500 range. But either way, it seems like a smart play for what will probably be the last game of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
All right. Well, there you go.
There I go.
There you go. That's Puck Luck. That's sponsored by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. It's time for the hockey stat of the week.
The hockey stat of the week.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, E?
I
Hey.
didn't realize you were here.
So I know I said I wanted to talk about the playoffs, which I do still, and I think that
do
playoffs
that
have
on
been
your own
really
show.
exciting. But we are going to go back to a non-playoff team here, and one that we talked about earlier, the Edmonton Oilers. Guys, this is according to Michael Amato on Twitter. This will be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' 10th coach in 15 NHL seasons when the Oilers hire a new coach this offseason. He's played for the same team his entire career.
That's kind of crazy.
The Oilers have had 10 coaches in 15 seasons. And I know coaching tenures in the NHL are shorter than they've ever been, but 10 coaches in 15 years with the same organization is insane. There's been no stability in Edmonton since Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has been there.
That's bad, man. And that's not good.
I'm looking back to see how many coaches the Panthers have had since they drafted Sasha Barkov.
It's going to be up there.
He
He might have a bunch, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
to be
Barkov
fair.
was what, 13 or 14?
2013.
13?
Ekblad was 2014.
Okay,
Was
so
the border?
no, DeBoer was pre-Deneen. DeBoer was 2011. He
that
was out.
20. Okay.
So Barkey had Horchek, Gallant, Tom Rowe, Bob Budner, Joel Quenneville, Andrew Burnett, and Paul Maurice. So that's
Yeah,
7.
that's good. That's a good amount, man.
That's still plenty of coaches.
That's 7
Yeah.
coaches with having the same one for the last 4 years.
All right.
Yeah, wow.
All right, Ethan, you have the floor. You have at least 3 minutes.
I have at least 3 minutes to what? Talk about the playoffs?
Yes.
Wow, guys, listen, I'm really intrigued by, first of all, I'm really intrigued by this upcoming Vegas-Colorado series because Vegas is playing better than they have all year. And this is kind of finally like the Vegas that we expected to see, right? They're playing like a team that is a legitimate Stanley Cup contender. Now, how much of that is playing against the Utah Mammoth and the Anaheim Ducks, I'm not really sure. But they've gotten better in each series so far as the series has progressed, and they certainly got better from the first round to the second round. They dominated the Ducks in the last few games of that series, and including the closeout game last night. I think they can give Colorado a shot. I don't think they'll win the series or even come close to it necessarily, but it will be a really interesting series because like Mike was saying on the show earlier today, Vegas has some elite defensive forwards that will be on the ice at all times. Now in Montreal, Buffalo, really intrigued by this one as well. I think Montreal goes into Centre Bell in Game 6 and closes out the Sabres. The Sabres are a really good young team, and I don't think that my impression of them has changed much during this series. The problem is they're really young, and they're really inexperienced, and they're kind of really stupid. And it starts with their leaders on this team. Rasmus Dahlin, their captain, and Tage Thompson, who wears an A and is their best player, have taken some really dumb penalties in this series. And it's kind of trickled down to the rest of the team where Buffalo's been on the penalty kill way too much. And it's cost them because Montreal has been fantastic on the power play in this series, finding their form from early in the Tampa series when they scored 3 goals in 5 games in Game 1. So, in 5 tries in Game 1, I should say. So, I think Montreal's going to close them out here, and people continue. I've been saying it all playoffs. People continue to sleep on Montreal, continue to think that Montreal will get dog-walked by Carolina. I do not think that at all. I think they're a legitimate cup contender, and they can definitely give Carolina a shot. I even think they could win that series, and I would predict them to win that series because I kind of did predict them to go to the Stanley Cup final before the playoffs even started. So really excited about what's going on in that Montreal-Buffalo series. Can't wait for Game 6 tomorrow night. And until then, it's just a waiting game for that Colorado series in Carolina. What is it going to be, 11 days if it goes to Game 7 or something like that, guys, that they've been on the couch? Going to be a really exciting conference final, I believe.
And let me remind you that only Ethan and I, we're still alive.
That's
yeah,
true.
The
That's
Ducks
true,
loss knocked me out, and obviously David had the Kings.
Woo!
So there's that. And quite frankly, Rosie shouldn't be in this either.
Oh, no, no. No, that was picked by Ethan, so that doesn't count. My team is the Avalanche. What can I do? The next, if the wait.
Rose had
Oh,
the
wow.
Flyers
No.
before she
Yes.
decided to take
Yes.
charge.
No.
And then
take on
she
her own.
decided she didn't want the Flyers, and so
You-
she picked the Avalanche.
You picked the Flyers for me.
I know,
You-
but
you-
that's how it works on this show
No.
usually. On the Bucket of Death, you pick.
No, you know what? Roy,
The bucket is
The bucket,
official
excuse
you
me.
can keep
yes.
going with wins because I'm not gonna have this discussion again.
Okay, it's time for wins and fails. Dave, what's your win?
My win of the week is going to make Ethan very happy. The 3 finalists were named this week for the Jim Gregory GM of the Year awards, and guess who didn't make the cut? Ethan.
Finally, guys, do we have to rename it the Jim Neal Memorial Award
He's
or
still
something
alive,
like that?
brother. Like, stop doing that. Stop.
Nah, well, him getting nominated is dead.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Well, interestingly enough, the year the Panthers are decimated by injuries is the year that Jim Neal doesn't go up for the award either. Someday, Bill Zito will get his flowers. Now, he doesn't care because he's got his Stanley Cup rings, but we care. It's deserved. This year's finalists, Billy Guerin in Minnesota, Avalanche GM Chris McFarland, and Ducks GM Pat Verbeek. Personally, I think I'm leaning toward Pat Verbeek, but either way, I think it's a win for us all because we finally will get a new winner.
All right, my win of the week comes from Game 2 of the Canadian Sabres series. A scrum happened. Somehow, Mike Matheson ended up on top of Zach Benson. And while that scrum moved closer towards them, Matheson decided to protect Benson's head from the nearby skates that were going towards him. And even in competition, that is a good job by Matheson to protect his opponent
I love that.
from
I
what
love
could have
that
been a
player.
very much gruesome injury. And we've seen skate injuries in this league before. Never good. So good on Matheson protecting Zach Benson there.
Right there, Roy. That is why, Ethan and Roy and Rose, that is why Buffalo's losing the series. Because one team, in the midst of all this playoff psychotic chaos, one team has the wherewithal to still understand what's more important.
What's more important there is being disciplined, and Buffalo has not been disciplined at all this entire
No,
series.
they have not.
No. In fact, both teams need to keep their sticks down. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing. We saw in Game 3 that when you have your sticks up, somehow, some way, most likely, you're going to end up getting a double minor because somebody's going to get cut open with a stick, and that's what happened actually the entire series, actually.
It's even the top end of the stick, though. We had a butt end penalty in this series.
Yeah, it was 2 button. Really? Because
Was
That was
Josh
the other
Manson.
series.
Oh, that
the
was
other
Josh
series.
Manson
Eh.
and Michael McCarron.
Yeah, so the button in the Western Conference,
Yeah.
you got to watch the other end of the stick.
Oh,
there.
man.
Yeah, so that's not good. Ethan, what is your win?
My win of the week, guys, we're going to go to the PWHL for this one, the conference final the semifinal, between the Montreal Victoire and the Minnesota Frost and Renee Desbiens. And if we can take this video, Danny B made an
Victory?
unreal save right here on her back, goes up in the air and catches it with the glove here on Renee Desbiens, of course, the goaltender that lost the gold medal game for Canada against the United States. But she makes an amazing save here. The Victoire would go on to win that game and that series 2-1 in Game 5 over the Minnesota Frost. They will face the Ottawa Charge in the PWHL Finals for the Walter Cup. So shout out to the PWHL, shout out to the Victoire, and shout out to the Ottawa Charge.
The Victoire?
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
French
Victoire,
for
that means
victory.
victory in French.
Is that what they say on the TV calls? If I watch, here comes
Yeah.
the Victoire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like they'll say Centre Bell as well, the
Oh,
official
wow.
name of the building.
This time
No,
you're
it's
right.
the Bell
E.
Center. It's the
I'm
Bell
always
Center.
right, Rose.
No, you're not. No. Don't
Debatable.
ever say that again. By the way, the Minnesota Frost, best jerseys.
Yeah.
So good. So
best
good.
jerseys in the league.
If
there.
anybody has a Taylor Heisey Minnesota Frost jersey and wants to send it my way, shout out your boy.
Rosie, what is your win?
So my win of the week is something I want to start doing. It's going to be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but listen to this masterpiece. I'm not going to put it all. I might put it all. Put play.
Backhand and smash.
Go.
Let the wild in the heat. Avalanche rolling, putting Minnesota to sleep. 5-2, we asked them out at home. Denver's house, y'all just guessing our dome. Mile high beast mode. Nate's running the show. Wild guy Ben couldn't handle the blow. McKinnon came out swinging, gold and 2 dimes. Got bold, he crumpled, sent him back to hard times. 1 snipe, 2 sit-ups, 22 on the clock. 5 shots fired.
What?
That was not how you say nature.
So slick. Power play popping 2 for 5. That's the edge. Wild went 0 for 2. Couldn't climb off the ledge. Fans in the stands yelling. Nate's dishing today. Who's still down waiting for help to play? Capri's off. Took a low blow. Burns missed his aim. Got kicked where it stings. Whole crowd felt the shame.
That kicked where it stings.
The crowd felt the shame. It's better than anything that came out of Ottawa, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
I'm
that's for
doing
sure.
that now.
That's true.
I'm doing that now. I just need help from what that was done with
So
AI.
you're going to create songs now.
I'm gonna create songs, but I'm gonna help ask AI to help me create the melody because I don't know how to play music.
Can you do something other than country?
That was kind of good.
I actually like country, so
jeez.
I'll do
No,
whatever.
At
I
first
feel the
it
mood.
sounded weird, but the more like it kind of yeah.
And
And the word like whoever wrote that like it was well written.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Good win, Rose.
Okay, let's go to Phil's. David, what's your film?
We kind of touched on it a little bit. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier. Oiler. My fail is the Oilers, Roy. It's my fail is the Oilers. It's just a shit show right
Nothing
now.
more needs to be said.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we said it already.
well, I'm looking at my bullet points that I wanted to talk about. We've basically said it all. Stan Bowman's on the hot seat. Every few off seasons, we've been saying it's the most important off season for this Oilers team. They've known the problem for year after year after year, and said they still don't have a goaltender. So yeah, Oilers, you're my fail.
All right. Back when the playoffs began during one of the intermission reports on ESPN, Steve Levy challenged both Mark Messier and PK Subban to pronounce Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's name. And this is how it sounded.
Did you want to take a crack at that, anybody?
Pekka
Luukkonen.
Luukkonen.
Is that his first name?
Luukkonen. Well, I'm missing one.
Luukkonen.
Luukkonen.
Or his friends call him UPL.
All right. So that's obviously the fail here. But what's magnified that fail, well, the Buffalo Sabres kind of recruited a couple of fans to correctly pronounce UPL's name. And this is how it sounded.
Okay. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Let's go, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. 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 Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Love the pajama.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. It's another.
Yeah.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
No, it's not how you say it.
Rosie, say it.
That's not.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
No, it's not how you say it.
come on.
Mess, PK, you can't get outshined by a bunch of 4-year-olds or toddlers in this situation, but you did. And that's not good. Ethan, what's your fail?
I didn't have fail coming in, guys, but I'll talk about Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen here. You
You
call
could've told
him-
me that
You
before.
can call him pulled at the second intermission in arguably the most important game
You
of
could
the
have
season.
told me that you didn't have a fail before this
Yeah, but
show,
we
and I
always
would
do
have
that.
not have gone to you.
Just like I did.
My
Jeez.
fail is the Vegas Golden Knights, guys.
Your
Their
fail should
behavior-
be yourself.
No, my fail is it's the Vegas Golden Knights. Their behavior's terrible, and I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of them getting away with it. Carter Hart's playing well. It stinks. Nobody's having fun. I'm bummed that they're in the Western Conference.
So you, in lieu of not having a fail, did what David just did.
Yes. My fail is the Vegas Golden Knights.
Carter Hart's
do
last
not like
7
that team.
games, Ethan, 918 save percentage,
Yeah, it's gross.
2.37 goals against.
Nobody's enjoying that.
4.8 goals saved above expected.
Yeah,
So
it's nasty. Not having fun.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Rose, you don't have a fail either.
Yeah, I already told you.
See, now, Rose told me this before the show, and I knew that. That's why I decided not to go to her, because I thought that you had a fail, Ethan. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
Thank you.
For those of you watching on DraftKings Network, please check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Hockey Show DLS, because coming up next, we have Brad Williams, who most likely is very sad. His Ducks lost last night, got eliminated by the Vegas Golden Knights, and we will talk about that coming up next with Brad Williams.